Just days after Nigeria's security forces achieved a major breakthrough in the fight against terrorism, killing and arresting key leaders of Ansaru, an Al-Qaeda-linked terror group operating in the Sahel, the nation has again been shaken by another massacre. This is in the early hours of the morning of 19th August 2025. Many worshippers were gunned down inside the mosque in Ungwan Mantau community, Malumfashi local government area of Katsina State, where they gathered for prayers. This brings about the question whether this was a retaliation for a blow dealt to Ansaru. Are these killings random or part of a deeper, more coordinated network that continues to defy our national security efforts? While the U.S. government recently hailed Nigeria's counterterrorism success, especially against the Ansaru, recognized as a dangerous offshoot of Al-Qaeda, our local communities continue to suffer the brutal consequences of rural insecurity, unchecked banditry, and extremist violence. This program today will go beyond the headlines to ask questions like, what are we truly fighting? Who benefits from this bloodshed? And how do we stop these circles of violence from defining our national story? Thanks for joining us on Nigeria Today. I am Eucharia Clinton. Welcome. Now with me in the studio to discuss the Malumfashi security breach is Dr. Yahuza Getso. He is a security, intelligence and investigation expert. It's a pleasure to have you in Nigeria today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having me.
Now, while we await the Commission of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Katsina State, we just start off with the conversation. Dr. Getso, tell us this another unfortunate incident. How would you, react to this?
Well, first of all, I must commend the Katsina State Governor and the Commissioner for Security and Internal Affairs, as well as the Commissioner of Police, the Director SSS, and the Head of Military in Katsina, as well as all head of the security agencies, for showing a lot of concern and for their commitments towards kind of rebuilding trust and confidence by visiting the community, even though the visit was made late. Well, the incidents happened in the early hours, like mentioned, on the 19th. But fortunately, the security agencies operating within Malumfashi, both the military, the police and the DSS and all the security operatives were informed hours, long hours before the incidents happened. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just an indicator of negligence and sabotage by probably the other operatives at the lower level.
Why do you say that?
Which need to be checked, because the councillor of the ward, Yaba ward, the community where it happens is Ngwomanto, and the political ward is named Yaba ward. And it is under the auspicious leadership of under the traditional leader of Karfi, which is Karfi district. So in the early hours, they killed 19, who were buried in presence of the military, the DSS, and the police. So, and they were all buried in the community. 4 people were later discovered around 5 p.m. within the community, those who were burned alive.
Do you have the facts?
Yes, of course, I do. The councillor is there, the local government chairman is there, the community is there. So anybody who wants to verify this can reach out to me at any given time, and can also reach out to the councillor and the local government chairman, as well as the head of the community and other members of the community. So 17 were rushed to the hospital critically ill, who later 2 people out of them died, and then 4 other corpses of the women were also discovered, those who tried to run away from the attack. So, but they were ambushed by the bandit and they were killed. So when you put the total number of 19 people that were earlier killed in the early hours, who were buried in presence of police, in presence of the unit commander of the Malumfashi military and the DSS in Malumfashi local government, they were all there. Because the people intended to take the total number of corpses, the 19, to the district head of the local government, that is the Galadima of Malumfashi. But the police and the security agencies, the military, refused because of the fear of unknown. Because the assumption is if they took out that cops down to Malumfashi, probably there may be outbreak of inability to control the situation, because many people will kind of abrupt, and then it will be probably take a different dimension. So at a later time, out of the 17, 2 people also died in the hospital, whereas 5 were rushed to Federal Medical Center, Katsina. So in total number, when you have the 19 that were buried in the early hours, in the presence of the councillor, in the presence of the head of the community, in the presence of the military, in the presence of the police,
so, okay, tell us now,
and other security
who buried
authorities.
these people?
The community members, the remaining community members.
That's what I want to
under the leadership of the councillor of the ward. And the councillor is there. The local government chairman is there. And the councillor affirmed to me on phone that he has communicated the intention of the criminals, of the cowardice criminals. Let me tell you, take you back. These cowardice criminals are indigenous of Malumfashi. They are not, they didn't come from outside Malumfashi. They are citizens of Malumfashi. And their hideout is known, which is between Ergoje down to the other communities around the Ergoje. So all their hideout, all their locations, there is nothing you can even call hideout. Because even if I'm moving with a motorcycle or ordinary bicycle, there is nowhere I must much break before when I'm moving. So these are places between Burdigau and Ergoji, Marabak, Ankara, where later in the evening, when the people come out to protest,
so Dr. Getso,
2 people were also killed by the police, and one of them critically injured, and is now receiving treatment.
Now, Dr. Getso, you just mentioned that some of these criminals are from the same community, Malumfashi,
yes, of
local
course.
government.
Yes,
so
of
why
course.
do you think, from your investigation, why do you think they keep having situations like this?
Well,
kinds of attacks?
you know, this banditry is becoming a more lucrative business, where the community themselves, they are also involved. Because who is providing these cowardice criminals with social needs to where they are? And who is providing them? There are informants. Many of them have been apprehended by the community watch that was initiated by Governor Dukwarada. Many of them have been apprehended by the DSS in Malumfashi, in Kafur, in Matazu, in Musawa, in Kankara, and all the affected LGAs in the state. So everybody knows. Everybody knows. The former local vice chairman of the local government that was recently abducted about 5 days ago in the community and under the ward. Even this evening that as we are discussing it, this evening before 6 o'clock, between 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, they are also in 2 communities in Almawat, in the same Malumfashi local government. So these guys, like I mentioned, they are citizens, they are indigenous of those local governments, and they have been terrorizing and destabilizing the communities of Matazu local government, Musawa local government, Kankara local government, Malumfashi local government, and Bakoro local government.
Okay, I'll
we
have
must to commend, I still commend the authority, the government,
okay,
especially the military. This issue, the defense headquarters and everybody, both the ministers of defense are aware of all this I'm discussing.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Dr. Getso. I'll have to stop you here so that we'll bring in Dr. Nasiru Muazu, the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Katsina State, joining us all the way from Katsina State. Dr. Muazu, welcome to Nigeria today.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Muazu, is an unfortunate incident actually that happened in your state. So can you give us an update of what actually happened, and talk to us, what do you think could have caused this attack?
Okay, thank you very much. As we all aware that tragic incidents happened yesterday at Ngomantau in Karfi ward of Malumfashi local governments. These happened as a result of reprisal attacks by the bandits that led to the death of 32 people. As we all aware that 3 days ago, the people of Mantau community Gidam Manto community, sorry, laid an ambush on bandits, which led to the killing of some of them, and they were able to rescue some women that they kidnapped from Gidan's Ruansanyi village. At the same time, they seized 3 of their motorcycles as well as 2 AK-47. So in a reprisal attack, they came while they are having their Fajr prayer, and they ambushed and killed 32 people. We are also aware that the bandit kingpin in that area that is operating is known as Mustapha Babaru. He hails from Kankara local government. He was born and raised in a community called Gidangamji. And he has some of his friends that are assisting him, such as Jan Duna, Alhaji Ilya, as well as Isa Kwashangarwa. These people are from also Pascal local government, but they are hibernating in Mununu village, Dansabo, and some part of Dango. But Babaro lives in Pawa. Pawa is in Kankara local government. So the problem with that attack came as a result of the fact that Gidam Mantau is a very difficult area to access. In fact, you have to cross 2 rivers to get to the place. So any reinforcement to deal with the situation could be very difficult. Secondly, we use Air Force to have an air interdiction that led to making some people to even run away from the bandits. So in the recent days, we have been having intermittent attacks of bandits from different corners. They came from part of Paskari, some came from part of Kankara, and some even from part of Sabo local government. And we have been trying to contain the situation because Katsina North, what we refer to as Katsina Zone, almost all the local governments are now insulated from the attacks of the bandit. As you are all aware that there was this community approach where bandit decided to lay down their arms, and Jibia, Basari, Safanata Musa have all joined that agreement and settlement. So most of them have moved to the Katsina South, which we report.
Okay, we seem to have a little a network breach there. We'll come back to him immediately. The network is restored. Now, Dr. Getso, he's told us what is going on there. So, is it a crime? He said it's a reprisal attack. Is it a crime for community, to try to, protect themselves, so to speak?
Well, we cannot call it an offense. And it is because of that, the governor, under the auspices, the supervision and monitoring of the hardworking and dedicated commissioner, as he was speaking, because I have been in touch with him almost in the last 48 hours, very closely. The commissioner that now speaking with us through via Zoom. And he is very hardworking and very committed that I do call him 247. There was never a time when I had any problem from any community within Katsina State and call or reach out to him on phone, and he never picked my call. And also the director of the DSS is very, very committed who is working in the state. So yes, that is why, like I said, that is why, to complement the effort of the federal government and the other formations of the security operatives. That is why the Katsina State government initiated Community Watch. And Community Watch guards are those members of the community that have been nominated based on careful background checked. And they were mobilized in almost all the affected local governments and even the neighboring non-affected, indirectly affected local governments from the state. And they were trained, by the joint coordination of the police, the military, the DSS, the civil defense, all the securities, the joint security operatives. They gave them operational training. They were given arms and so on in order to support, to complement the effort of the federal government. And I know that the state government is working very hard, working together with the security operatives on ground. Fortunately and unfortunately, what is really touching is the fact that the information we generated, the intelligence I generated, which I have evidence, practical evidence and touchable evidences that can be seen and can be touched, is the fact that the security operatives who are supposed to lead whatever, no matter how difficult it is, you cannot depend the fact that information was provided more than 6 hours before the attack. So even no matter how difficult it is, if they cannot be crossed through the Karfi, Ngoma, then the other side of the local government, through Gora, Ruansanyi and other places, through the Burdigao down to the Ngwomanto, can be utilized. And at the same time, the use of jets, the fighter jets, which is really scaring the bandits. And then at the same time, like I mentioned, I'm very happy, and I really commend the commissioner for mentioning those who are behind the attacks. And he made mention they are indigents of Kankara, they are citizens of Faskari. Faskari is a local government in Katsina State. And the community where they are hiding, where they are, is not a difficult community that cannot be reached.
Okay.
So they are not in any thick hideout where they cannot be reached. In the last 12 years or more than that, we have been suffering. We are just tired of what is happening.
Okay.
There should be either negligence, either sabotage, either internal sabotage, or even the community also need to check themselves. Because security
I'll have to stop you here,
is
Dr.
everybody's responsibility.
Thank you very much, Dr.
You need the government, the security agency, and the community. We must collaborate together in order to fight this.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gesso. So I'll go back to Dr. Mwazu. Dr. Mwazu, you just mentioned that the names of people that are behind this attack. Of course, you seem to know, most of them. So what is the state doing to, fish out these persons and ensure that these kinds of attack is put is nipped in the bud?
Okay, if I can get to very early, asking me what the state government is doing since the people are known, the bandits are known. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
Okay, fine. You see, one of the difficult things that in this banditry business is the fact that many people are involved into it. And also, in most cases, the informer that used to collect intelligence from the people used to help in abating and aiding these banditry activities. Now, whenever there is any deployment of the security agencies, before we get to the place, people would inform the bandit that security agencies are coming. You see, I've been arguing that this is a community-driven crisis. So since you cannot separate the informers from the larger, populace, it is always very difficult. It is only in a situation whereby we are lucky to get, one or two of them, then they will divulge information to get the other thing. And we have been trying our best. In fact, that is what is even reducing the rate at which bandits are attacking, because of the fact that we are trying to fish out the informers. But it's a very difficult task because you have, many people that you don't know what they are doing. So we are trying our best, and the Community Watch Co. and the other security agencies are putting in their best to be able to fish out those criminals that are aiding the criminality in the state. Secondly, and more importantly, some people feel that this criminality is they have long relationship with the bandits or with the Fulanis and those who are into these crimes. So is separating them is always very difficult. In fact, you have to use other community approach to see how you can be able to deal with the situation. But we are trying our best.
much, Dr. Muazu. Now, Dr. Getso, he has mentioned that the state government is doing something, but however, the problem seems to be a little bit overwhelming here from what he had just mentioned. So, from your own security, experience, tell us what strategy should they adopt?
Well, the strategy they should adopt is what they have started, using a community-driven approach. But the strategy being utilized now is probably not really enough, even though they are doing their best. Like I mentioned earlier, I commend each and everybody among the stakeholders, key players in the security arena at the state level. But at the macro level, there is either some people who are not being held accountable based on the responsibilities given to them. The divisional police officer of Malumfashi, the area commander of Malumfashi, the unit commander of the military in Malumfashi, the unit commander of the military in Kankara, as well as the other unit commanders and other security agencies, the local security officer, the civil defense commander, as well as even the immigration, even the custom that were available, because they're supposed to be working harmoniously in coordination and in partnership to ensure that they provided needed support. That is one, which is commendable. The second is the state government should use community-driven approach. If I could suggest, they should nominate more in collaboration and partnership with the federal government, either through allowances, to engage the youth between the age of 17 to the age of 22 up to 25 or thereby, and build their capacity on information generation, intelligence management, some of the tactical operation, and to have a kind of a training by the police, training by the DSS, training even by the military. At least if you can mobilize 10 per polling unit. If you have 10 polling units in one political ward, it will give you 100 number. 100 number is a complementary to the total number of police that you have. And if you have 10 political wards in Malumfashi local government or 11, if it is 10, 100 times 10, from each political ward you have 100 youths. And those youths are there and they are willing because they are not interested in migrating to rural, to urban communities in search of livelihood. Because Malumfashi have very rich fertile land. There are a lot of opportunities for both irrigation and raining, as well as other small-scale businesses, which they can do. So they are not interested in flying all over places of Abuja. So I think if you can have the total number of 100 times 10 political work, you will have 1,000. So if you can have them, give them the necessary training and avail them the necessary local matches and dongon and other things, you can be able to remobilize and build their capacity and build their trust to serve. Because these things are happening because of institutional failures. It is very clear. It's institutional failure. We have to check our institutions. We have to check those who are given responsibility. Why are they not being accounted for the responsibilities being given? Why do we have a divisional officer in Malumfashi? Why do we have a military formation in Malumfashi? Why do we have the DSS formation in Malumfashi? Why do we have custom and immigration and the rest of them in Malumfashi? What are they there for? They should be there to safeguard, to support the Katsina State communities, the Katsina State government effort, and the Malumfashi community effort in order to outline and identify and fish out these numbered criminals. The Honorable Commissioner had mentioned, how many are they? The total number of the kingpin leaders. And how many are their boys? And what is the total population of Ankara? What is the total population of Malumfashi? What is the total population of Matazu? What is the total? Matazu, Musa local government, our two ministers, Hadiza Bala Osman, who is another senior person in the federal government, as well as Hanetu Musa, they came from this local government. They should do everything possible to recollaborate, to reparty, to do everything to support the government effort in order to strengthen the community-driven approach as a strategy towards enhancing, and at the same time, the federal government, there must be a kind of synchronized approach between the federal government, the state, the local government, and the community. So for it to be community-driven, community-initiated, community-driven, community-owned, and community-sustained. If we can have this strategy put in place, There are many other things which I will not discuss in the public.
Thank you
but
very
I know
much.
the state government will continue to work as closely as possible to provide needed support to ensure that these guys are fished out and dealt with accordingly. We are tired of allowing our people being killed like ants.
Thank you very much. Now, Dr. Mwazu, we just want to get your, your closing thought, about this whole issue. What sort of support would you, is the state government, does the state government need from the federal government for this problem to be addressed? Just 30 seconds.
Okay, very fine. You see, since it has been accepted that this is a community-driven crisis that requires community-driven approach, there is a need for the federal government to understand that, the firepower of our community watch code need to be enhanced. Also, air interdiction is key if we want to get this problem solved. More importantly, there is a need to also, have more security personnel that will be able to meet up with the, demand, because we have so many local governments, into this crisis. Even though we have tried, we have, succeeded in insulating some of the local government from the shackles of the bandits.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nasiru Mwazi, the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Katsina State. Thank you so much for coming on the program. And also we have Dr. Yahuza Getso. He's a security and intelligence and investigation expert. Thank you so much for coming.
And thank you for having me. It's been a great pleasure and always welcome.
Thank you for being part of the program. I'm Ikaria Clinton. Goodbye.